So I think at the age of 40, I hit the proverbial midlife crisis and I started to feel that depression or the gray coming in. I was a clinically obese smoker who drank too much, and I was about 5 years away from having a heart attack. My transformation it started off with the physical component, which was weight loss, getting more active. But slowly as I aged, I realized that my mental components were being neglected. I was actually starting to feel depressed. I wasn't feeling motivated by work anymore. And it was at that point I needed to undertake something that was more purposeful. I needed to find something that would get me out of bed every day and motivate me to move forward. The 7 and 7 event was a run from Jasper to Canmore, Alberta, through the Canadian Rockies. It took place in the spring of 2022. It was a total distance of just over 300 kilometers, or roughly 7 marathons in 7 days. We wanted to raise money for the Rainbow Society of Alberta, who grant wishes to chronically ill children. And for me personally, it gave me purpose and helped continue my own transformation. After I took some time out to recover, the depression started to come back. I found myself, I called it a hangover. So I knew I needed to identify a new cause and identify our next journey, which is going to be occurring in 2023. It's going to be cycling across Canada, but not just from one side to the other. We're going to be including the Northwest Territories, Yukon. It's going to be about 12,500 kilometers. I'll be cycling on average between 160 and 180 kilometers a day in variable conditions, hitting all the major cities throughout Canada and a lot of smaller cities to hopefully build awareness to this amazing cause. You Can Ride Too is an organization that provides kids with disabilities the opportunity to experience joy and independence through movement by removing barriers to riding bikes. They are helping us plan. They've been an absolute treat, and you can tell that they are passionate about what they do and that they're passionate about helping these kids. Me and Nicole have been together for a very long time. I think I met Nicole in my early 30s, and we dated for quite a while, and we eventually got married, and we've been married for a couple of decades now. She's always been the person behind me, pushing me, and getting me to the starting line.
We need to be able to spread so much awareness, and in order to do that, we need sponsors and supporters to help us with things like logistics. We need vehicles, we need places to stay, we need mechanics, we need massage therapists and physiotherapists, and we need support cyclists to help lift his spirits across the country when it gets tough, and you know it's going to get tough because 13,000 plus kilometers is no joke.
There are playbooks for marathons. There are playbooks for Ironman triathlons. There's no playbook for this. On the 40th day, I may encounter something that no one could have thought of. It could happen on the 3rd day or on the 80th day. You know, what happens on a day-to-day basis will largely be unknown. It's how you prepare and react to those events when they do occur. That's what will keep me going. And it's our goal that by the time we reach that finish line, there are thousands of people in this conversation. And what was a whisper between two people is now a roar in a community, and that roar is creating change. Well, to be honest, I'm absolutely scared shitless. I've had moments of severe doubt when I was driving down here to see the distance that I'd be pedaling, and in actual fact, only a quarter of the distance I'll be pedaling. I'm terrified of failure, but I'm most terrified of early failure. Like, if I can get 30, 40, 50 days, I can get a lot of awareness out there, I can create a lot of benefit for You Can Ride Too. But if I fail early, it's going to be a heartbreaking experience because for me, it'll feel like it wasn't worth it, and that just terrifies me. I can be very happy that I've raised money, I can be very happy that we've helped kids, and I can be very happy that I've inspired a lot of people. But I also want to look back and say I've fundamentally changed. I've found a path forward.
You're not Connor McDavid.
No, I'm not.
Say it.
Okay, guys. Well, first of all, thank you for coming out. It's a small group, but I actually kind of like that because I think this journey represents the individual and making an impact on life. So today we're going to start that process. We're going to inspire people. We're going to show people that an ordinary individual is capable of extraordinary things. And we're going to show these people that we can lift ourselves up and start to change our lives. Well, it started off with a bang. I felt really good. I am feeling a little, I'm about 10K from the longest ride I've ever done. So it's starting to hurt. I think we'll start taking breaks a little bit more often now. We were pretty frugal with the breaks there because of the wind. So yeah, I mean, we got to get to the ferry, then we have an hour and a half break. And then I think 30K to finish it off, right, Darcy?
Nope.
How many?
51.
51. So the days, there's still a lot more to go. So yeah, I'm suffering. I'm more aware of the epic endurance part of this. I think I was a bit naive that I could just kind of, you know, not that I didn't train, I trained hard, but I was overconfident a bit. Today was one of the good days weather-wise. I had support riders, and it still hurt, and we still have more to go. So that's kind of the negative side of it. The positive side of it is I cycled 170 kilometers. So that's kind of where my thoughts are right now. I gained a little confidence, but I'm no less scared. I can tell you that. I'm still very scared of what's to come. You know, if anybody asked me, hey, what if you could ride from Halifax to Toronto in 14 days? I would say that's an incredible feat of endurance. I got almost 11,000 kilometers to go, so I feel like I've been grinding at it forever, and in reality, I've just literally scratched the surface, and now I know how hard it can be. I didn't know when I started how hard it could be. I know now how hard this is going to be, and I'm going to be by myself starting on Sunday. So I'm scared.
If we roll out of here at 11:30, ride for an hour. You all right?
Oh, I'm not all right. I just cycled 2,100 kilometers. Blazing heat. I feel shitty. Am I going to finish today? Yes.
Darcy's been training his whole life for this.
Darcy's Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm
No,
the
he's
young
Qui-Gon
Jedi.
Jinn.
Yeah, I'm the young Jedi.
You can be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's went to the dark side, though. That's why we had to bring you in today.
Luke,
Yeah.
I'm not your father.
So, 14 days ago, this ride started in Halifax, and I, to be honest, was quite naive. I was an endurance athlete without being an endurance athlete. And in the last 14 days, thanks to Darcy, his commitment to keep going forward, his commitment to support the cause. But you know how you know when you meet the right person in your life and you end up getting married? They always say, if you can travel together, it's the right person. Well, Darcy, we traveled well together.
We did. Way to go.
Thank you. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, brother. Canada is rugged and beautiful. Like, it's been an amazing adventure just from that perspective, right from Halifax all the way to where we're now. You know, when the pain blurs the view, I am sure around me was nothing but beautiful scenery, but all I could see in front of me was hot pavement for the next 10 kilometers. But that morning, as I was leaving Creston, I took a moment and said, I can't believe I'm out here doing this. I get to do this today. So I'd love to say I feel that way all day, but as the day progresses and the days progress, quite often the endurance side of things will blur the scenery. We're smashing out 25 to 30 kilometer an hour rides for 6, 7, 8, sometimes 10 hours a day, and we get up and we do it every day. So it's amazing what the baseline is now. If I stop, I don't know, like, I'm going to put on 800 pounds, first of all, because my body has become so efficient.
Yeah.
My heart rate doesn't get up above 119.
Oh, or I feel good. Do you know that one? Yeah. Pitbull? That's a good one.
It's also very mentally taxing because you don't see the finish line. You just see a lot of very hard days in front of you, and it amplifies the mental challenge so much. And it's the combination of those two things coming together. It's like the perfect storm.
Getting to eat.
Perfect storm today.
Where your bottle's all filled. That should probably help with the cramping and your leg cramps later.
Got bigger things to worry about than the leg cramps right now. There's a reason why cyclists are on this road.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Stop.
This road is unsafe for you, then I suggest we pack your bike up into here and I get you to a safer place and you can make the kilometers up elsewhere.
I just need to know how far is it to that intersection.
I don't know how far it is to that intersection. I have no way of knowing that. Phone says SOS. I can't. That's it. I've got no access to anything at the moment. There's no signage. So okay, I'm not telling you what to do, Matt. I am telling you that these are options.
There's no making up these kilometers though. Get my kilometers I basically summited this thing, and now I'm gonna have to stop my watch, stop counting the kilometers, and drive down. And I don't know how I'm gonna make up the kilometers, but the whole point of riding up the hill is everything must come down. So now I have to figure out how I'm gonna. So we'll go up there and see if I can get back out of the van in a bit and make up the kilometers. You know, I'm still waiting for that moment where I have what I call the I shit the bed day. I'm just like, I can't go. It hasn't happened yet. I've had bad moments on the road, but I've never not started the ride. And, you know, one of those days, fine. But I'm worried that it just overwhelms me and I have to stop. So I guess it'll get easier. You'll get stronger. Whatever you're experiencing on your worst day will pass, and you will make progress. I'm tougher than I thought I was in a sense, and I just had to go through a process, and I'd let myself know that don't give up, don't be overly scared. You'll get through it, and you're gonna get stronger. I'd like to tell you exactly what's going to be happening on that northern leg, but at this point we've heard a lot of different intel, and none of it makes it overly simple. Animals, road conditions, traffic, the remoteness of it. It's going to be a very challenging leg, and we're not sure how it's going to play out.
Yeah, they normally sit up here, and then I pack the whole thing. What's that?
Are you going to wear your cycling shorts on the plane? If you are,
Matt,
do you need some butt butter?
I am not going to wear my shorts on the plane.
He's already starting to show a little signs of separation anxiety. Last night he came knocking on my door after we were in bed, and he asked me if I could come out and tuck him in and read him a quick story. So,
yeah, well, it's a hell of a journey to be working together.
yeah, he's the second longest. Darcy was the first. Now it's back to solo.
Solo through the territories.
Solo through the territories and then back into northern Alberta.
I think if you
First of all, Adam's got a real good sense of humor. He's a super easy guy to get along with. We had some amazing conversation. You know, he gave up that time with his family to come out and support me. He missed his kids tremendously. He missed his wife tremendously. And I just have a ton of respect for somebody that's willing to put himself through what he went through, supporting me. Here we are. We're staying at an Airbnb this time. Quite often we'll stay at hotels and motels along the way, but this place is great. And of course it has a map of Canada, so it seems fitting. So I've cycled all the way across and up into the Yukon. I could just, proud of it, but also just in disbelief. And of course I still have some work to do, so I kind of feel like taking this off the wall and taking it with me because I think it's a neat reminder.
I still have laundry to do. I still need to make sure that Matt is nourished and hydrated properly because he has a tendency not to do that as well when he's not cycling. Posting to social media, responding to emails, and talking to our charity, You Can Ride Too, about the event and how it's going, and more specifically now the end day on the 27th of August, because there's a lot of balls in the air with that. I have concerns about this last leg because I've heard recently about some of the fires up in the Yellowknife area, so I'm keeping a close eye on that. If the fires are too close to Edzo or Yellowknife, we may have to make some alternate routes because I'm just not going to put anybody in danger. So it's constant.
So for me, I've gotten so used to getting on that bike. Rest days actually bring me down mentally and physically. I don't feel rested, and I actually start to worry about what's to come. The only thing that's on my mind right now is I got to get back on that bike tomorrow at 6:30 and start another 3,000 kilometers of cycling by myself now. So do I enjoy the rest days? They're not giving me the benefit other than it gives me a chance to promote the charity. It gives me a chance to work with local organizations. It gives me a chance to meet with the sponsors. So there's no such thing as a rest day.
And I think our calls that we have every couple of weeks also acts as a bit of a tonic for both of us. And so about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, I guess it was, we were sort of at a crossroads. How do we make this thing go better? How do we get more money for the charity? I also have a charitable foundation, and we decided we would match the next $25,000 dollar for dollar. And I think that inspired some of my friends and the people who follow me to say, okay.
I think a lot of people are now sitting up and taking note of this and saying, okay, well, maybe this is something special. And of course, having Lyle on board and you folks on board, I actually had a thought yesterday when I was nearly clipped by a semi, and I was, oh my God, I just about got hit. And I thought if I did, it'd probably help the charity more. And I'm not trying to be discouraging, but it's almost like, what more can we do? I mean, I do worry about the finish line now. I'm actually starting to worry about it because I don't know what it's going to be. Who's going to be there? What's going to be there? I don't know what the total is going to be on our donation. And you start to accelerate the process of thinking, what can I do now? I have fewer days to do something. What are those things that I should be doing? I just hope enough people tune in and we get a big crowd at the end, and I hope the donations get up there, and I've got only 25 days left to really turn this thing up. So
he talks about being beat up mentally, and I think that's just because of the hard task that he is engaged in. However, I think that his growth mentally and spiritually is becoming more solidified for him, and I don't know that he actually sees it as much as I do, because I'm looking at it from a different purview than he is. He is becoming a significantly more compassionate human being, and taking a look at what others are going through as opposed to just his lens. I think this is great growth for him.
So my break day is done. I've had a good rest. Yesterday I was a little bit sad, a little bit tired, but now I'm ready to go. I'm re-energized. I'm optimistic that my body feels really strong and I'm starting towards the finish line. I don't quite see it yet, but I can definitely sense it. And I think once I get the next 3 days under my belt, I'm gonna really feel a shift in momentum. You know what? We've turned this whisper into a roar, so it's time to finish the mission.
Good evening, everyone. The military is now on the ground in the Northwest Territories as a historic airlift is underway in some of the most remote communities in the country. And tonight, the capital city of Yellowknife declared a state of local emergency. Plane loads of evacuees have already fled Hay River, Fort Smith, and Jean Marie River. It's the largest emergency airlift ever in the territory. CTV's Jill Makishon now on the urgent threat and the flights to safety. Wildfire in the Northwest Territories is creeping dangerously closer to the capital city of Yellowknife at this hour. The flames less than 17 kilometers away.
To be very blunt, I didn't really understand what was going on because I'd driven through so much smoke. This didn't present anything new to me.
Nobody was worried about what was going on around Yellowknife, but just to be aware. And so we were aware. So when it hit the fan, it hit the fan in 4.7 seconds flat. There was no warning.
The moment for me when the light went off was when I saw the red line on the map that said you can't get out. And that's when I kind of looked at Nicole and said, what have we done? We've driven into a town or a city that is now unescapable. We couldn't leave. And that's when I got worried. And then it was like we were on standby. We were watching that map, and as soon as it turned green, and we threaded the needle, and we waited another 8 hours, we would have been on a 3-kilometer line to get gas.
We drove past places where people's lives were decimated. I should not be feeling so selfish because I get to leave and I get to go home safely with my partner, my husband. I then started second guessing every decision I made up to getting there, and did I miss something?
It was hard to really ask people to pay attention and donate when this was playing out. Like, how dare we? How dare we ask people to donate money when families are being sent packing because this forest fire? So there was a real emotional war to wanting to continue.
People did a lot of work to put this together for us. They had a lot of trust in us, and neither one of us wanted to let them down. So I was going to do whatever I needed to do to get Matt to where he needed to be so that we could cross the finish line on time.
As soon as I got back onto that highway and we started heading towards our final stop before Edmonton, I definitely felt a shift in momentum. I felt like I was picking up steam again, and at that point now I could see and sense the finish line. So I was very motivated to get there. After 100+ days on the road of staying in every imaginable hotel, motel, Airbnb, it's been a grind because, some cases the conditions were pretty rough. So, plus the packing and unpacking, the energy around all that, which people don't see, that's all going to stop. So I think that's a great thing. And it's gonna mean I'm going to have a little bit more energy to, focus on the fun stuff. Just having that option to go out to my club, go for a walk in the river valley. I can tell you, in all honesty, not only on the first day, but probably for about the first 10 days, and almost every day after that, I didn't believe I was going to be able to finish. I would say that had Darcy not been there, I probably would have quit. I hate to say that, but part of me believes it. Yeah, I've had a lot of days like that on this journey. I really have. But there were some days they were fairly, okay, but many days it was just about getting through them. There's no way to prepare for how hard this was. You have to go and do it. It's just asking yourself, are you mentally tough enough to get through it? I'm very proud that I grounded out, because there were a lot of days that I wanted to quit, but I did it. I did something, at my age, with my background, I'm speechless sometimes when I think about it. There hasn't been, in my opinion, a significant amount of transformation. I still have these flaws. I still feel them, the ego, the insecurities, the self-doubt. But if I was to talk about transformation, a big component of transformation is taking the journey. That's step one. It's taking the journey to see the view at the top of the mountain and assess yourself and understand your current state and what you want to change about it. I've taken the journey. But more importantly, I know now what the fix isn't. It's not running a race. It's not riding a bike. It's not doing a crazy endurance event. Doing those things are just acts of desperation to keep the depression away and the reality of who you are away. You could do 100 of those, and I don't think they'll actually be the end solution. You need to take this journey, take the learnings, and now start the process of transformation. But I've got enough of an understanding to start that change. It's a long way away, though. It's a work under construction for a long time yet. It'll be worth it only if I convert it in a meaningful way. If I don't, if I fall back, shame on me, because you only get so many chances at something like this. And now the real test of who I am and what I've learned will come 30, 60, 90, 100 days after. There's a lot of things I need to work on, but I think I've started that process. So time will tell. Time will tell. Been able to do is create a lot of awareness. I think a lot of people didn't understand how important adaptive cycling is to certain families and to children with disabilities. They know now, or a lot more people in this world know what a job You Can Ride 2 does and how important it is to families with children who have disabilities. So I'm very proud of that. Going from a regimented get up at 5:30 every morning, ride for 8-9 hours, it's made me more appreciative of what I have and the home I have to come home to and the facilities I get to use. I would say that when I started the ride, I was leaning more towards about me. Now I realize I need to lean towards more about the purpose. I think when I really truly connect with the purpose is when I kind of liberate myself from the ego, and I went out to do it for myself, using this event for myself. But until I shift the focus on the true purpose, which is for the kids and the charity, that self-result's not going to happen. And you have to say, it doesn't matter what I look like, it doesn't matter what people think, it doesn't matter how popular I am. There was two higher purposes here. One of them was charity and the kids, and the other one was the people that supported me, that put their faith in me and said, yeah, we'll get behind you and we'll do it. I believe that this was such a huge success because of the team at the end of the day. It certainly wasn't the talent of the rider, I can tell you that, but I had a lot of determination, but at the end of the day, all of this came together because of the team. Any two people that can go through that type of experience have to have a special relationship, because you absolutely put your trust into that somebody. And there were moments out there where I was very broken and feeling less than, and this one here picked me up and kept me going. And she didn't kill me. And I was I was not a nice guy. I was not a nice guy a lot of times on that trip. She stood by me. So I don't know what else to say. It's pretty special. So I would say our relationship's improved. I understand her a lot better. Trust her.
Nobody's marriage is perfect. Nobody's relationship is perfect. And I thought we knew each other, and I pretty much know what makes him tick. If we can manage through those darkest times with an understanding of where it comes from and how to navigate, it just makes us stronger.
Yeah, I take her again. She can support me. Plus, next one, she's riding the bike and I'm in the support van.
Oh, we're in trouble. Because he can't drive.
We're switching roles.
And I can't ride.
Get your own food. I had to do the ride. I had to do it. I couldn't wait to get out on the road and put all this, whatever was going on with me, behind me. And I was kind of blaming everything, my relationship, my job, my friends, everything was being blamed, but sort of what was going on with me. Yeah, I recognize now more than ever, I think I probably need more help, more friends, more support. It's just dropping the ego and being okay with that. I think we impacted a lot of kids. I think there should be a lot more kids on bikes now. So at the end of the day, adjusting my expectations and my ego, I now know that's what we were really here to do, and I think we did a good job of that. And I think what we've done for those kids and the charity will last long beyond the event. And it's like a slow ball of thunder coming down the valley. I feel we have credibility now to take that roar and really amplify it.
We can take the whisper of the next charity that needs that elevation, and we can make that roar happen much quicker.
Much louder.
And much louder.
We're talking to big charities and they're listening, and I think we have the potential to really change the way people think about themselves and how they can help their community. The question now is, do we formalize that roar? Do we create an entity that's bigger than both of us, that will last beyond and in between events? It'll be the thing that is there when we go. So that's we're on the precipice, and we have to make those decisions.
Your anxious heart may as well be stone. Oh, it weighs you down deeper than you know. Yeah, it weighs you down deeper than you know.
Be still, my darling. All is well, my darling. Your anxious heart may as well be stone. Oh, it weighs you down deeper
scared of time changing us both. Death will meet our bodies, but it'll never touch my soul. If you are afraid, the heavens don't let go. 'Cause darling, I will stay as we grow. Oh.
Awesome. I don't know if you're sponsored by them, but
I'm looking for sponsorship in the pet better department.
how's that feel?
My ass is sore, I can tell you that.
But it'll never touch my soul.